All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about something really powerful, a kind of, well, an old fashioned way of praying for a future spouse. This is all about flipping the script on how you view the season of being single, turning it from just waiting around into something active, intentional, and full of purpose. You know that feeling of just waiting? It can feel so passive, right? Kind of full of uncertainty and anxiety. But what if we could totally reframe that? The huge shift here, the real game changer, is moving from waiting for someone to actively waiting on God. And that's where this idea of tarrying comes in. It's not about sitting around, it's about being active, expectant, and turning this whole season into one of powerful preparation. So, tarrying. It sounds a little old fashioned, doesn't it? And it is, but all it really means is staying put in a place of prayer, fully expecting something to happen. It's built on this incredible trust that just because it's taking a while, it doesn't mean the answer is no. It just means you're in a period of divine preparation. And wow, that mindset changes everything. It turns your entire wait into a powerful act of faith. Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but what does this actually look like in real life, day to day? Let's get practical and break down the kind of heart posture you need for this persistent kind of prayer. Because really, it's not about just saying the right words, it's about where your heart is at. The first step, and honestly, probably the most important one, is surrender. Just letting go. When you can genuinely pray this, the entire dynamic shifts. It's a fundamental change in focus, moving your attention away from the gift, the person, and putting it right where it belongs, on the giver. And what this really means is you're surrendering to divine timing. You're basically saying, okay, you're the architect of my life, not me. It's all about trusting that his blueprint, even when it feels like construction has completely stalled, is never, ever flawed. It's about believing in that perfect design. Now, this next part is so crucial. The second piece of this is a focus on refinement. See how the prayer totally shifts here? It's not just, God, give me a person. It becomes, God, work on me while I wait. It's like you're handing over an open invitation for him to do some deep, meaningful work in your own heart. And that right there is the ultimate goal of tarrying. It's not just about passing the time. It's about allowing God to prepare you, to heal you, and to make you whole so that you're truly ready for a healthy, thriving marriage when that time comes. And the final piece of this posture is resolve. We're talking about real grit here. It's about strengthening your heart to hold out for that old-fashioned promise. A union that's rooted in a real covenant, in a shared mission, instead of just settling for what's convenient because you feel lonely. Okay, so surrender, refinement, resolve. Got it. But how do you actually maintain that over time? I mean, that's the hard part, isn't it? Well, the idea here is to build what's called a prayer wall around your heart, using scripture as the bricks. So let's look at the four big pillars that are going to hold this whole thing up. Pillar number one. This one hits home for a lot of us, doesn't it? It directly addresses that very real feeling of weariness. The wait can feel long, and it's just so easy to get tired. This pillar is all about renewing your strength. And this promise from Isaiah, wow, it's like the perfect antidote for that weariness. It speaks right into the experience of waiting on the Lord and promises this incredible supernatural strength that comes directly from it. So the key takeaway here is pretty simple. This kind of waiting, this tarrying, isn't supposed to drain you. When it's done right, in God's presence, it actually refills your spiritual battery. It ensures you're at your absolute best when that door finally opens. All right, pillar number two. This one is for tackling that little voice of doubt that always tries to creep in. You know the one that whispers, has God forgotten about me? Have I been overlooked? This pillar is all about trusting the divine blueprint. This scripture from Habakkuk is such a powerful anchor. It's a reminder that God operates on an appointed time. The vision he has for you isn't just a vague hope, it's set for a specific, perfect moment. And the lesson here is profound. Let me say it again. A delay is not a denial. It's simply a sign of divine orchestration. It means God is making sure every single detail is perfectly aligned before the promise comes to pass. Okay, on to pillar number three, and this one is about having some guts. Seriously, it's about courage, specifically the courage to uphold your standards and refuse to compromise, especially when it feels like the whole world is telling you to just settle. This verse completely flips the script on waiting being a passive or weak thing. No way. It shows us that waiting is an act of courage that actually requires divine strength. The scripture even frames it as a command. Be of good courage. It's not a suggestion.
So think of this as your anchor. It's your personal reminder to keep your heart strong and your standards high and to refuse to compromise just because of loneliness or outside pressure.
And that brings us to our final pillar, number 4. And honestly, this one just reframes the entire process so beautifully. It's an invitation to see your weight not as some frustrating problem you have to solve, but as a masterpiece in progress. This verse from Ecclesiastes, it just offers such a powerful perspective on God's creative process. It's this deep, calming reassurance that there is a perfect, beautiful timing for every single thing in your life. I mean, think about it this way. God is the artist. A kingdom marriage is his masterpiece. And you just can't rush a masterpiece, can you? Tarrying allows the divine artist the time he needs to complete the painting of both your life and your future spouse's life. Okay, so we've got the heart posture and we've got the 4 scriptural pillars to stand on. But how do we make this a daily reality? Like, what do we do on a Tuesday afternoon? Let's look at 3 simple, actionable ways to practice tarrying every day. Look, these are not complicated new rules to follow. They're just simple, powerful tools. Try personalizing the scriptures, turning them into your own declarations. Maybe use them as a meditation when you feel restless at night. Or just write them down on a sticky note and put them on your mirror. The goal is just consistency, making this a part of your spiritual rhythm to keep your focus sharp and your heart encouraged. And that really brings us to the final, crucial question. How do you see your own season of waiting now? Is it just a frustrating delay, or could it be a season of divine preparation? The choice to transform your wait from passive to powerful is completely yours. And trust me, what you do in this season truly, truly matters.